Hey guys, welcome to Virtuous Wise. I just wanted to do a quick video um, while my baby is asleep on who are you listening to? Who are you seeking advice from? Oftentimes with wives, we don't know a whole lot of people who've been married or our friends are single or um, divorced or whatever the case may be, family members. We don't have too many people our age that are married. Most people deciding nowadays not to get married. In fact, and the divorce rate is so high. So it's like, well, we don't want to talk to somebody who's been divorced because obviously they didn't do something right. That's why they divorced. And so we tend to turn to our single friends, um, and ask for advice or to hear them or just vent our issues. The problem with that is they've never been married. So how can they help you with marital issues if they have never been married? In fact, since they are single, I know most single friends would be like, "Oh, you shouldn't put up with that," and if I was you, I would leave him, and all this other stuff. And that's for one, that's not what we want to hear, and for two, that's not the right advice that I feel should be given to a married woman or a married couple. So I ask you, who are you listening to? Who are you seeking advice from? Family members, because family members are biased. I don't care. Most of the time, you'll find few who won't take sides, but 90% of the time, family members are biased. They will take, if it's your spouse family, they will take their side. If it's your wife's, they will take their side because that's who that's their family member. So it's natural they're going to take their side. But I advise you to listen to someone who's mutual. Listen to someone who's been married for a long time, who can tell you the ropes, who can show you how to work it out, who can show you how to fight and be a wife that you should be, even during the tough times. Oftentimes, marriages are glamorized. We see all the good things, but no one discusses the hard times. No one discusses what to do when you feel like giving up. No one discusses when you feel unappreciated or when you don't feel the love in your marriage. No one discusses infidelity. No one discusses temptation. I'm not saying all marriages go through that because they don't, but I just feel that we make marriages feel like it's so perfect, and it's far from perfect. It's constant work. It's hard work. It's a feeling like no other. I wouldn't want no other way other than to be married to my spouse. It's an amazing feeling to have someone love you till death do you part, who's a part of you, who is one, who looks out for your best interest, who you know will stand by your side through thick and thin. It's an amazing feeling. But with that, also, I think that we can reach more wives, we can reach more couples and help them if we just share the struggles in our marriage just as well as the glamorous part. Share the struggle, share your testimony so that can help another wife out in their situation so they can find another way other than getting a divorce or alternative. When God's in the midst, there's no telling what can happen. There's no telling what can be changed and turned around if you pray. If you fight during prayer, there's nothing that God can do. I don't care what this world paint. I don't care what your friends say. Oh, you can't come back from that, and oh, this and this and this. I encourage you to fall down on your knees and pray. If you hear some of the old schools, the wives or the married couples who've been married for 20 plus years, and you hear their stories, they've been through a lot. And you'll probably think, I ain't going through that. You went through all that. I ain't doing that. But they went through it and they're still married. They're probably going to die. To death do them part. That's what your vows say. To death do you part. And I just encourage you to listen to someone who's been there. Listen to an older person. Also, I always listen to older people who've been married so long because clearly they know the recipe. Clearly, they're doing something right for them to be married that long. And not only that, I try to share what I've been through in my marriage. We've been married going on 4 years, and I feel like we've been through a lot in 4 years. I know people vets 10 years and older be like, "Oh, y'all ain't went through nothing in 10." And probably when I get 20 years, we've been married 20 years, and I look back on this video, I'll be like, shh, you ain't went through nothing yet. But right now, I feel like in our marriage, it's been rough, especially with military, and moving, and the first year and a half of our marriage, we wasn't even staying together. I was in college and he was in Georgia, so it was like distance as well as deployment, and it's been uh rough road, but anything that's worth having is worth fighting for. And when you fight for it, you appreciate it so much more than something that is given to you so easily. You don't cherish it as much as if you work hard for it. Just like in school, if you bust your butt for that test or that paper, you cherish that more than you getting a easy doing an easy assignment. It's the same thing with your marriage. You got to fight for your marriage. I encourage you to fight for your marriage doing prayer. I encourage you to read books on marriages. I did the seven rings of marriage. And that was a good book. The Power of a Praying Wife. That was a good book. And even if you don't want to, if you don't like reading, you can listen to the audios about it as well. I just encourage you to read your Bible, read your word. It's nothing that you're going through that's new under the sun. Everything God discussed in his word. And you can I do not believe you can have a successful marriage without God being the center of your marriage. So don't leave God out no matter what situation, no matter what you're going through. Do not leave God out. Run to him because he's looking for you. He's waiting for you to hand your issues over to him because you cannot handle it on your own. You cannot change that spouse. No matter how much you try, you will get weary and you will get weak. Hand it over to God and let him do the rest. And you will find that while you focus so much on your spouse, God trying to show things about you. So I would just encourage you to pray with a sincere heart because God knows your heart. One thing I take seriously is I tell God exactly how I feel. I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not playing when it comes to my prayer. I'm laying it down just how I feel. And I let God reveal to me what areas I need to change on or what direction that I need to go. I just lay it at His feet and I begin to see things change, not within me, but in my own marriage. So I encourage you, everything is not peaches and cream. It is not. It is a roller coaster ride, but it's a joyous ride to be on. Every day ain't gonna be Sunday, like I stated before, but it is so rewarding. The good always outweighs the bad. I just encourage you to hang in there. Be careful who you take advice from, especially from somebody who ain't never been married. Just be careful of who you seeking advice from. See y'all later. Bye.